Nice to have you, Alpha.
Nice to be here, Wale.
Of course, we have some of our sport analysts that will be joining us right from Tokyo and also right from England at this point in time. We have Yomi right there in Tokyo, and also we have Wale and Vivian right there in the United Kingdom. It's great to have you join us from the UK.
Sorry, I think my mic was off there. So yeah, it's so nice to be here, Wale. So nice to be here to talk about the Olympics. It's been a long time coming. Finally, the Olympics is here, and we're excited about it.
Hi everyone, I'm very excited to be here. Finally, after 5 years, we can finally review the Olympics and see how our athletes will perform.
I think we seem to be having some audio issues. We cannot hear what is going on in the in the Lagos studio. Yeah.
Some low-key ceremony, but in spite of the absence of spectators, I still think the Tokyo 2020 organizers did their best to put up a good show. You know, it would have been fun if the spectators were there, but they were not there. But nevertheless, I think it was still a good opening ceremony.
Okay. Wale, if you can hear me, what is your take about the opening ceremony of the Tokyo 2020?
I think it's brilliant. I was keenly watching what was going on during the opening ceremony. It was brilliant. Trust the Japanese to always put in a show anyway, especially with the technology and all. But it's so sad, just like Alpha said, that there were no fans there, you know, to keep the momentum up. I remember this Olympics obviously should have been last year, but it's been obviously dealt a blow by the pandemic for COVID-19. And I remember when the Deputy Prime Minister of Japan, Taro Aso, said it was a cursed Olympics. You know, but it was far from that, you know, when we saw the opening ceremony today. Fans aside, controversies aside, the opening ceremony director was sacked. That's Kobayashi Kentaro, about a couple of days or yesterday over some anti-Semitic comments he made some time ago. But the Japanese still went out there. They gave us a very interesting opening ceremony filled with lots of fireworks, filled with lots of entertainment, and as I must say, I was really proud of what they've done today.
Of course, Vivian, over to you. What will you actually, stand up a point for you from the opening ceremony, looking at the parade from all the countries?
Yeah, what really stood out to me was the fact that the flags were carried out by the emergency workers and how they were the key points in the COVID-19 pandemic and making sure that everyone was safe. And also one of the key themes was, of course, faster, higher and stronger together. And that's something that's really important because at the end of the day, each country will be participating with their pride and with unity and diversity. So that was really exciting for me, and that really stood out.
Okay, Alpha, over to you here. Looking at Team Nigeria parade, what will you actually say about them?
Yeah, I think it was okay. Like I said initially, low key, but still spectacular. No doubt about that. And we just hope that beyond the parade, now the games have officially begun, and this is the time for business. And we hope that Team Nigeria will go out there and, you know, represent Nigeria in the best way they can, and hopefully make the podium when it gets to the point where medals need to be hung on the necks of the people who distinguish themselves at the Olympics.
Okay, over to you, Wale, right there in UK. Looking at the coming of the coronavirus, do you think it will actually affect the level of competition at the Olympic Games?
No doubt it would. It would, because we just mentioned the fact that the fans are not going to be there to cheer people on. I think this Olympics is going to be just one of those Olympics. We had to do it just because we had to do it. I am not. I would not be pinching myself to say records will be falling left, right, center, as we know Olympics to be like. But I haven't said that there's probably the possibility that it might. I mean, there's some quality athletes out there. They are obviously representing individual countries and going out there to do what they know how to do best. But again, the fact that we still see high rate of infections, COVID infections in Japan at the moment, especially in Tokyo. We've heard news of athletes, testing positive to the COVID-19. This could obviously actually affect, teams. Because obviously everyone is going to be staying individually, in isolation, in silos from their teams, which is not really ideal. We saw today when the opening ceremony was going on, we could see that athletes were actually eager to mix with other people. So we do not know the effect. We do not know the result of what that would be at the end of the day. We don't know if there will be positive cases coming out of that mixing today. So, but it is what it is. IOC said we just have to go ahead with it. At home, we watching at home. Journalists covering it. Everyone should just stay back and enjoy the spectacle. It's not the ideal Olympics. It's not what we think we would see because of the COVID, but we should just sit back and enjoy. And hopefully, Nigeria especially, we have a very wonderful tournament.
Of course, looking at Team Nigeria and also Africa, the athlete that will be representing Nigeria. Are you confident, Vivian? Are you confident that Team Nigeria stand a chance of winning a gold medal in this Olympics?
Yes, definitely. The last time that Nigeria did win a good medal was with Choma, and I really believe that if we really push forward and we keep going, we can win even more than one good medal. It could be 3, 4, 5 good medals, and in total, hopefully 25 or even more.
25 medals, Alpha. You want to say something about that?
Really like
I want you to ask from Vivian exactly. Who are you putting your money on?
I'd say obviously the basketball team, the Tigers, both the women and the female, both the women and the men's team. They are against obviously Italy, Australia, and Germany. But hopefully they'll be able to win the gold medal and just go through the stages.
A couple of numbers to go. You mentioned the Tigers, the basketball team, athletic, the track event. So where are the other ones going to come from?
I think I want to share Vivian's optimism, but we just have to be patriotic. But listen, this is the Olympics. We should not just raise our hopes up high that much, because if we are saying Nigeria, we go probably better what we did in Atlanta 96. Then we need to look back at the preparations. How did these people prepare for this occasion? Apart from the basketball team, the male and the female, what other preparations did the athletes really go through? What training did they embark upon? You know, if there's gonna be anything spectacular from these athletes, it's gonna be something individual. Maybe on the day, you know, some Nigerian athlete will probably be encouraged or probably be determined to just do that for the fatherland. You know, aside from that, to be honest with you, as patriotic as I am, being a Nigerian, I don't really see where that gold medal is going to come from. I would love it to come, definitely, in basketball, both male and female. Ese Brume, definitely in long jump. I would love that. I spoke to Ese a few months ago, and she's so determined. She's actually looking forward to going out there to do the fatherland proud. But with COVID preparations, it will take a really superhuman effort from those boys and girls out there to do us proud.
Of course, those girls are out there to do us proud. In the country, we will actually be praying for them to actually deliver the goods. But let's just talk about generally on the Olympics. Looking at the last medal table in 2016 in Rio, Brazil, we saw that the United States of America emerged overall champions with 46 gold medal, 37 silver medal, 38 bronze medal, making it a total of 121 medals right there at the last Olympic. They were actually followed by Great Britain, China, Russia, Germany, Japan, who is actually hosting it on the 6th position, and also France, South Korea, Italy. Looking at this year's Olympics, which of the country do you think will actually emerge overall champions at the end of hostilities? Vivian.
I think it would be the teams that maybe are training more. So the Western countries like Britain or American team, because they have over 300 athletes competing in these Olympics, compared to Nigeria, which is 60 athletes. So we look forward to see who is going to top the league board.
Alpha, you want to say something?
No, absolutely. Just like Vivian said, a lot of these Western countries, have more athletes to the Olympics, and they participate in way more games. So if you're participating in, for instance, like 30, 50 different games at the Olympics, I mean, there's always that possibility that, your medal acquisition will be quite high. So I agree, the US is always up there, Great Britain, Australia, China, Russia. These are the powers when it comes to the Olympic Games. So I still see the US, making the overall. I mentioned that the overall winners when it comes to how many people will step on the podium at the end of the day.
Okay, Wale, looking at Africa's performance last edition, Kenya actually came 15th on the medal table with 6 gold medals, 6 silver, and 1 bronze, making it a total of 13. Do you actually see Team Nigeria getting to surpass Kenya's performance in this Olympic?
My heart will say to me yes, because obviously, like I said, I'm a very patriotic Nigerian, but my head is saying no way. I honestly don't see us winning 16 medals. Where are they going to come from? Okay, let us look at it critically. Where are they going to come from? If we're going to get any medal from basketball, it's just going to be 1 medal. The fact that we've got 12 people in the Tigers and 12 girls in the Tigress, it's just going to be 1 medal. Okay, so where are the other ones going to come from? Blessing, Okagwari, well, 1 medal. Ese Brume, like I said before, 1 medal. Maybe the girls in wrestling, freestyle wrestling, the other Blessing, and where are they going to come from? The thing is, I mean, you were talking about America, United States probably topping the Olympics medal table, probably followed by the usual suspects, the Great Britainers of this world, the Chinese, even Japan. Don't forget, Japan is in this tournament with over 600 athletes. Okay, and they are playing at home. Okay, they are going to be competing at home. So these guys, they've been preparing for the Olympics for the past 4-5 years. Okay, so we got Paris 2024 coming up as the next Olympics. They're already preparing now. All right, they're preparing those athletes now. They're going to be competing in Paris in 2024 already now. Whilst all of us we're still battling for 2020, but it's not the case with Nigeria, especially, because we only see corporate bodies running around 2 months, a month to the time to now support, in quotes, Team Nigeria. We see the government a month or 2 months to the time, they now kit up the players, the athletes, and say, yeah, we're going to an Olympics. That's not done. You need to start preparing to be an Olympian. It's not a child's play. It's not a child's play. Then talk about you getting on the podium. It's not. That's why we've not qualified for the football event. All right, boxing. So we need to. We're always talking about going back to the drawing board. All right, this proverbial drawing board. We've talked about this several times. We need to be serious about sports. There's some countries in the world, even in Africa, they don't know them for anything else apart from sports. The Kenyans, you spoke about the Kenyans. What are they good in? Long distance. They know we are good in long distance. They know how to prepare for it, and they know how to go out there in the Olympics, in the World Championships, in the Commonwealth Games, and dominate. All right, they play to their strengths. We don't. We never do that. Even if when we do, we don't prepare for it. So to say Nigeria will probably surpass the Kenyan record, I say no. I'm willing to probably stake a bet on it. And but just like I said, my heart, because it bleeds Nigerian blood, will say yes. Probably we're going to top. We're going to be the best in Africa. But definitely, my head is saying no.
You have other things you have to say about what you just said.
I mean, he said it all. To be an Olympian is not, a small feat. Even participating in the game is a big deal. That something to compete on the podium. So, and for you to achieve this feat, there are lots of preparation that goes into these things. You don't wait for the Olympics. If you start preparing like a year to the Olympics, you take almost like 4 or 5 years to prepare for just one Olympics. So if you don't prepare, I mean, don't expect miracles. I mean, no matter how exceptional you might be in your sport, so a lot of preparations go into this thing. So the big countries who always come out victorious at the Olympics always put in a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of funds to prepare their athletes for every Olympics. Like you said, the next Olympics in 2024 in France, some countries are already preparing already, so it will be good that for we as Nigerians to start also looking forward to the next Olympics, especially, I mean, the sports like football that used to be our traditional sport. I mean, Nigeria couldn't even make it this time around, so we really have to really sit up and take sports seriously as a serious business and not just a hobby or a pastime.
Of course, sports should be actually taken as business and not as recreation activities that we used to see it before. But at this point in time, we have an athlete which is actually competing at the Olympics, talking about Uche Ike. He is a gymnast. He's right there in the Olympic, and
Yes, very good. Can I please meet you?
Hello, I'm Uche Eke, Uche Mantalem, Nigeria's first Olympic gymnast.
Yes, our Nigerian first Olympic gymnast. How did you find yourself in this sport?
When I was really young, I used to do a lot of flips, and my friend Kevin taught me how to do a backflip at the age of 3.5. Thus, I just kept wanting to do crazy stuff and flipping. I took it to the next level, trying to do it off of my couch where my mother saw me in the living room. And from there on out, she was like, "You're doing gymnastics."
And the dream, coming true, coming for your first Olympics. What is the feeling like?
It feels amazing, I'm actually out here now, so it's just, I don't know, just everything is just really cool. I'm surrounded by top tier athletes everywhere I go, even when I eat, sleep, and I'm just really happy to be here, just thinking about my goal, trying to work as hard as I can.
And looking at your expectation, because you are doing 5 games, if I'm correct, five events, six in this Olympics. What are your expectations?
So I'm doing 6 events. My best events are parallel bars, horizontal bar, and the pommel horse. I just want to go out there and do as best as I can. All this hard work that I've been putting in over the 20 years of gymnastics, I just want to go out there and let it all out, Don't leave the gym without feeling relieved and feeling that self-accomplishment, I made it here, so I have to put on a show.
And looking at the medal table now, are you under pressure that you want to actually win something for Nigeria?
Yeah, I'm not under pressure. It's just, anything can happen. Of course, I want to get a medal, but my mind right now is to make finals because that's the first step to it. And if I make finals, I'll be so happy. But like I said, anything can happen. Anyone can fall at any moment. So I'm just keeping my head focused on myself, not really looking at what other people are doing because I know what I have to do.
And looking at, yourself, I know education and sports. How do you manage the two?
Yeah, that's that Niger blood right there. That's all I can say for that, I really wanted it, I wanted to be a computer science engineer, just like my older brother, and I wanted to be an Olympic athlete because that's my own dream, my childhood dream. So in order to become an Olympic athlete, my parents forced me to, I'm saying force like it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, to pursue higher education. So I did that, did what my parents wanted me to do, and now they're helping me do what I want to do, which is be in Olympics, which is why I'm here today.
Yes, being at the Olympics, what is the support like?
It's awesome. I have a lot of friends and close people around here, friends back home who made it to Olympics. I'm seeing them, talking to my friends back home over the phone who aren't here. I just wish that my family could come, but either way, I'm still here and they can watch me on TV and keep supporting me and texting me. So I love it.
How much of Nigeria do you know?
Do I know?
How much of Nigeria do you know? Yes, Nigeria, your country. How much of Nigeria do you know? And the food.
I know a lot. I go there twice a year. I'm from Abia State, Ibere. That's my village, and used to go to Aba all the time, where my grandma lived, and I love going to Lagos, Abuja. I have a bunch of friends there. Every time I go, I like to stop in there, check in with my folks. And of course, I eat a goosey, pounded yam for breakfast, yam chips. I love that. Oporoko, that's the only fish I eat. So.
Yes, and finally, your message to Nigerians as you are here at the Olympics.
So, hello, fellow Nigerians. It's Uchiman. Tell them, you can see what I've done here so far. Always chase your dreams. That's what I've been doing. People make you feel like you want to give up. Don't, because it's all about what you want to do. You live once, so don't give up on that dream. stay motivated.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yep. Thank you.
Ike, the first Nigeria gymnast that will be competing in the Olympic Games, and it's just so good that he'll be competing in the Tokyo Olympic Games. He'll be competing in 6 different events. You actually know hear him about what he actually said. Are you confident that he's going to deliver a gold medal for Team Nigeria?
Yes, I am. You know, we keep talking about gold medal.
It's the medal, of course.
Yeah, I just hope he is going to put up, some wonderful performances. I mean, you heard the young man speak. He's sounding very confident, and I even appreciate his courage for him to even actually participate in the gymnast events. I mean, what we've seen there, he will be the first person to represent Nigeria in the gymnast. We haven't really had gymnasts in past Olympics, and for him to even step up, up there to fly Nigeria's flag in the gymnastic event, I think it's a really good one. And let's just hope that he does something special. Whether he wins a gold, silver, or bronze really doesn't matter. I mean, that he has participated already, for me, in my eyes, he's a champion already, and I must congratulate the young man for the courage.
According to Hafa, he must actually congratulate the young man for his courage. But Vivian, if you were the coach of Ike Uche at this point in time, he's competing in 6 different events.
Could you repeat that question? Because I didn't hear you.
Competing in 6 different events, what would be your charge for him to get a podium finish?
I think, of course, he's the first gymnast to qualify representing Nigeria. So I wouldn't say that maybe there's a lot of expectation for him to win, because what really matters is that at least he is inspiring many Nigerians to compete in sports like gymnastics as well, where countries like America or Britain predominantly dominate. So I think it would be really interesting to see how he will be able to perform in the 6 events.
Well, looking at Uche, looking at his training up to the build-up to the Olympics, are you confident that they can actually deliver the goods for Nigeria?
No, but I just want to appreciate the young boy. He seems determined. He's like I said, being an Olympian is not an easy job. I will obviously would like to be an Olympian, but it's a dream that's faded away. It's never going to happen. The worst I probably will do is probably be a torchbearer. Okay, so but for a boy, a guy like that to come out in his own chosen field that he likes, obviously said his mom has encouraged him, and thank you, Mom, if you're watching wherever you are, to encourage the boy to come out to represent his fatherland. It's a massive plus for him. We don't need to put that much pressure on the boy. We know gymnastics is not our strong point in Nigeria, but just like Vivian said, don't put pressure on him. Just go out there, boy. Enjoy yourself. All right. If the medal comes, he comes. If it doesn't, go home with your heads, raised up high, and you can also always go back to America. Tell them in your school, in your uni, wherever you are, on your streets in America, and say, listen, I am an Olympian. Not a lot of people will say that. Not a lot of people will beat their chest and say, I am an Olympian, or I was at an Olympics. Okay. He's already superhuman the way he is. If he goes further and gets to the podium, kudos. But no pressure at all. Go out there, boy. Enjoy yourself.
Of course, he should actually go and enjoy himself. That is actually coming from Wole. At this point in time, you have some pictures from the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games from Nigeria right there in Tokyo. Okay, we learned that the pictures are not ready yet. But at this point in time, we want our listener out there to actually send their comment, their charge, their message to Team Nigeria as they actually get to begin their campaign at the Olympics. And be rest assured that we are going to actually read your comments going forward. Also, some Team Nigeria have also been talking about at the Olympic Games. Ese Brume, we have a video on Ese Brume at this point in time. Can we really have that video? Okay. We don't really have that read about now. But looking at the match pass, we saw a whole new color when it comes to Team Nigeria. They actually done the white and green color of the country. What would be your reaction about that particular way?
I mean, does it really matter? I mean, the colors of our national flag are actually green and white. So it depends on whatever you want to wear. If you wear the green, if you wear the white, I mean, it's still all the same thing. So I don't really think that is an issue, in my opinion. So, I mean, beautiful match pass, by the way. So the colors they wore are still Nigerian colors. I mean, it's not like they were wearing red or yellow. It was still green and it was white. So those are Nigerian colors, and it's all in order as long as I'm concerned.
Vivian, you saw the opening ceremony. Which country will you say they actually stand out when it comes to the match past the event?
I'd say Cameroon, because I really liked their attire and the way that they dressed with the different colors like brown and yellow. However, true, like I didn't really, to be honest, I didn't really like the Nigerian kit as well, just because it was mainly white than green, and I was expecting it to be more even.
Okay, Wale, which of the countries stand out for you?
I think I'll go along with what Vivian said. Cameroon was actually impressive. The Kenyans, I like their attire too, and obviously the Polynesian countries. We're talking about the Fiji, Vanuatu, and some other ones, and obviously some of the Asian countries too. Were like okay. Nigeria was just simple, and I think I probably know the politics behind all this. Why we decided to go with the white and green. It's all politics. If we go there dressed as in Fulani attire, it's going to be a problem in Nigeria. If we go there dressed like Atilogu dancers, that's going to be a problem. If we go there dressed like my people from the Southwest, probably like your dancers, it's going to be a problem. So it's just best go there with a simple white with green trim, represent the colors of Nigeria, match past, go to the serious business, win if you want to win, if you can. If you can't, give it your best shot, and let's come back home and prepare for 2024.
Of course. Now we go to take the sports that Nigeria will actually be participating in. We know that the basketball team will be, the girls and the male team will be competing, and they have been grouped. Some people will actually say that they have been grouped in a group of death, but we know that during the preparation for the Tigers, we saw them defeating a formidable US team, and also they actually defeated the Argentine team, and they lost to the Australian side. Are we confident that this team, when it comes to basketball, they can actually get us a medal in the male and the female event, Alpha?
The male or the female team, or both of them?
Both.
Well, I have confidence in both teams. I mean, we took two beautiful teams, both in the male and female basketball teams, to the Olympics in Tokyo. And I really have hopes. I mean, apart from maybe the track and field events, the other sports that I really have plenty of hope, and optimism for football, both for the rest and the time are loaded with, NBA stars, players playing in the top leagues in Europe. I mean, our own Obiora is already an NBA champion with the Milwaukee Bucks. So I think their hopes are really high for the basketball team, the Tigers. Same for the Tigers, notwithstanding a few blips they had during the trials for the Olympics. But these things always happen when you're preparing for the big event. So I think that was just a good dress rehearsal for the main event, and I really do hope that one of these teams, either the male or the female, will actually get us a medal.
Vivian, are you also confident in the male and the female team when it comes to the basketball event?
When it comes to the males team, I am slightly more confident than the females team because when the males team, they're going against, for example, Italy, that hasn't really qualified since 24. And despite having a strong coach like Sacchetti. However, for the women's team, they're up against America, which, of course, they lost during the pre-games with America. So looking at the women's team, I have maybe less hope than the males team.
Wale?
Basketball is actually one of those I'm actually looking forward to. The male team, they've actually surprised me, to be honest. I know we've got quite a lot of professionals that guys are playing in NBA and obviously in college basketball in America. Defeating the Americans in the exhibition match prior to the Olympics was an eye-opener for a lot of people, including myself, because I never thought we would actually beat the Americans. But defeating them and also beating the Australians, and everyone is beginning to look at the Nigerian basketball team, the male one, even female ones, and they're thinking, these guys might probably end up on the podium. I actually got very, very big hopes for them. It's a very massive morale booster, them beating the Australians and the Americans. So for them now, they're like, listen, we've got no fear again. Let's just go out there and enjoy ourselves. And those guys, you can see that they've obviously got a very good coach, Coach Mike, who is invested a lot in that team. And I must say kudos to them, kudos to those boys going out there to show their talent. Yeah, definitely, I feel, just like Vivian said, the male team, they're definitely a team to watch out for. But the females, don't write them off.
Of course, the female team don't actually write them up. That is actually coming up from Wale. Okay, we move away from basketball. We head straight to wrestling, where we have about 5 athletes that will be representing Nigeria. And the athlete that actually top the list at this point in time is Odunayo Adekoroye. We know that she was one time rated as one of the best player. When it comes to wrestling, she was rated the best wrestler in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. And she's actually, be leading the team when it comes to the wrestling event. Are you confident that Odunayo will actually deliver a good medal? Because we have seen her during the World Championship, during the African Championship, she has dominated in all the categories that she has competed in.
In our team to the Olympics, she seems to be, one of the bright sparks, one of the people we really hope will, get a podium finish for Nigeria at the Olympics. I mean, she's been in spectacular form all season, in wrestling. I mean, one of the best wrestlers in Africa, in my opinion, and highly rated in the world too. So I really think that she will put up some good performances in this Olympics also.
Vivian, are you confident she can deliver the goods? Looking at the likes of Adekoroye, Odunayo, Oburududu Blessing, Aminat Adeni, and the rest, are you confident that those wrestlers can deliver medals for Team Nigeria?
Yes. Yes, I'm pretty confident that that hopefully they will be able to deliver a medal. They've won multiple times gold in the African championships. So with so many other countries competing, hopefully they'll be able to bring maybe even bronze for Nigeria.
Wale.
I must say this is another event or another sport that I'm actually looking forward to eagerly. Odun she's been superb in superb form. She recently this year she won. She was in the freestyle 57 kg in Warsaw, Poland. She's ranked #1, even in Rome in 2020. She's definitely one of those girls that you have to look forward to bring a medal to Nigeria. I mean, I've taken my time to actually look at her style of wrestling. I think she's really very experienced for someone who actually did not want to wrestle when she was growing up, But over the years, and I think with the contribution of the coaches, Purity Aku and the others, and obviously don't forget they've got a president of their wrestling federation who is more like a role model every one of them wants to look up to. I'm talking about Daniel Igali. Igali's a perfect role model for these girls and the boys in wrestling because he's been there at the Olympics, won it for Canada. So to have someone that knows the in and out of the sport now guiding them, I think is a major plus. So if there's any other event or sport in the Olympics that I think we probably might be getting on the podium, I say it's wrestling. And why so? Because we've got these talented young girls and boys, and obviously there someone like Daniel Igali who's there to nurture them, obviously tell them the ins and outs of winning a medal in the Olympics. So yeah, definitely I'm looking forward to Odun and Blessing and the others. I think they might surprise a lot of people. They definitely might do that.
Of course, the world should actually watch out because Wale said that the likes of Odunayo Adekunle will actually get to surprise a whole lot of people at the start of the wrestling event in the Olympics. But we'll move away from the wrestling event. We head straight to the table tennis, where about 4 athletes will be representing Nigeria. Looking at Motayo Olajide, he will representing Nigeria in the men's singles, while Haruna Kodri also be representing the Nigeria in the men's single. Then Edem Effiong will be representing Nigeria in the women's single, while Olympic veteran, talking about somebody who has competed in the Olympic for good 7 times, nobody else. We are talking about Funke Oshonaike. She will be competing in the women's single event. Already, the team has been seeded. Top seed for Nigeria is in 15th place. That is no other person than Haruna Kodri. Alpha, you have been following Haruna Kodri ever since we saw him in various championships, African Championship, World Championship. He is the captain of Team Nigeria to the Olympic. Are you confident? We know that he was defeated at the quarterfinal stage at the World Championship. Looking at him, we were playing against the Asians team who are very, very good when it comes to table tennis. Do we have any medal hopes in table tennis?
Well, I wouldn't say we have a medal hope or we don't, but I mean, Haruna Kodri is no doubt a fantastic table tennis player. I mean, proving himself over the years, proving himself on the continent, proving himself in the world. I mean, going into the Olympics, he's been ranked number 15 in the world. I mean, which is no small feat, to be ranked number 15. And I just hope that once the table tennis events begin, that Haruna Kodri will really go out there and show the stuff he's made of. And for Funke Oshonaike, I mean, what more can you say about her? I mean, a veteran of the Olympic Games. This has 7 times participating in the Olympics. I mean, being an Olympian for 7 times is no small feat. So that alone, stands her out clearly. So I really have some hope in Funke Oshonaike for Aruna Quadri, and I really think that these people will do well, at least to represent Nigeria properly at the Tokyo Olympics.
A certain veteran, talking about Segun Toriola, will be actually be leading the team to the table tennis event at the Olympics. Vivian, are you confident in the team of the table tennis at Tokyo?
Yes, I'd say that I am confident, given how Aruna was the first African to qualify for the quarterfinal stage in the last Olympics, and also how you said that Funke, she is a veteran for the Olympics. So I'm looking forward to see what all of them will be able to bring.
You're actually looking forward for what they are going to bring. Wale, are you actually looking forward? Which particular athlete will you say stand up for you? They are actually eager to see when the tennis event starts.
On the Nigerian part, I was really very pleasantly surprised when I saw Funke's name, propping up. I've known Funke for ages, at 45 plus, and she's still doing that. I think you said this is about the 7th time she's going to be at the Olympics. That's a massive achievement. Forget the fact that she probably has never won and never been on the podium. But like I always say, if you are an Olympian, it's a dream millions, probably billions of people all over the world have been thinking of, since probably they were toddlers or whatever, and they never achieved it. For someone to be going to the Olympics for the 7th time, it says a lot about our personality, about ourselves, about our condition, about our body condition. This is someone that's over 40 that's doing this. It's no mean feat. Will she be on the podium this time around? It's a very strong field, table tennis. And you've got the Asians there that are, obviously they are the masters, the Chinese and all, the Koreans, even the Japanese, they are like the masters of this. I probably would not want to go far saying she's going to be on the podium. With Quadri, team captain. At the Olympics here in London, I think he went out in the 2nd round, and he progressively moved up to the quarterfinals at the Rio Olympics. Who says he cannot progress to the semi, and probably go for the podium finish? So there's a progression there. He's been working really hard, and this guy's really been working very hard. I've seen a couple of his games that he has played. I think he's improving with age. This is someone I actually also will see. I see probably following in the footsteps of Funke, going to probably will be there in 2024, but. Talking about now, I think we'll probably see a progression, just like I mentioned, from 2012 to 2016 to now. If there's anyone there that probably will say experience might push him to that podium, I'll say it's Aruna. And I'm looking forward to the way the rounds go. It depends. If he ends up meeting someone that's probably very superior, then I don't know. But table tennis. I remember the days at Roe Park when we used to. I actually had a very good friend, Sule Olale, who I went to school with, secondary school with, who was an African champion. Nigeria will always produce people like that. For them to win at the Olympics is another issue. So but kudos to those veterans that's still doing it, and obviously the young ones that we've not heard about. The 2 other guys. I think this will be a very good process for them to learn. With table tennis, it seems, especially with the Africans, you learn with age. I know the other ones are probably in their 30s. Who says they can't learn from this and probably improve for the next Olympics?
Of course, they can actually learn from it and improve in the subsequent Olympic that will be actually becoming. So away from table tennis, we head straight to another surprising sport for me, because I know we have a whole lot of talent in the country. We have good numbers. Will I say rivers and oceans in Nigeria? Of course, talking about swimming, it's just so sad that just one athlete that will be representing Nigeria in the swimming event. Talking about Ogumbawu Abibata, she will be representing Nigeria in the Olympics at the swimming event. But looking at the likes of this United States of America, the likes of Russia, the likes of even South Africa, the likes of Chinese team, Japan, Korea, those are the biggest country when it comes to the swimming event. And at this point in time, we're having Nigeria who will be representing the country at the swimming event. Any medal hope?
Categorically, no. But you know, one thing about the Olympics is really not about winning medals. You know, participating in the Olympics alone is already an achievement. You know, and especially in sports that usually Nigeria is not known to participate in things like swimming. You know, even though we have, you know, a lot of people who have grow around the riverine areas who should have been, you know, taking part in this sport. But nevertheless, anytime someone goes out to represent the country in sports that we are not usually known for, you know, it's always, you know, it's always a thing of joy, you know, for her to even be brave enough to, you know, qualify for the swimming event. For that alone, I think she's a champion already. So whether she, you know, wins a medal or not, you know, especially because of the kind of countries known in swimming she might be coming against up with, you know, I for me, I think she's already a champion in my eyes, and it's a good one. And I hope that this will be an inspiration and motivation to a lot of other young people coming up in Nigeria to actually, you know, take up swimming as, you know, a sport that, you know, in future Olympics that will have more and more representatives who will be representing us.
Abibat, she was born in 2004, and she's a young lad, no doubt about it. Vivian, should we expect medals from her, or we should just give her like a break and see how she can be able to gain experience in these Olympics and see if she can actually, you know, get to win medals in Paris or in Los Angeles come 2028?
Again, like you said, she's very young, 2004. So I wouldn't put too much pressure into her winning the medal. She's already done fantastically by just qualifying for it and just being present, representing Nigeria. And also it's about, like I said again, like representation and just bringing more young athletes from Nigeria in the next Olympics. And hopefully she will, as the years goes on, she will be able to then bring a medal to the country.
Wale, are you surprised to see, assuming that Nigeria will be competing in that event?
I must say it's a big shame. We've got the Atlantic Ocean, we've got the rivers Niger, we've got rivers Benue, we've got the Bayelsens, the Ravens, the people from Niger Delta, we've got people from Ondo State, we've got people from Cross River, what have you. And we just got a lone person, a 17-year-old, representing Nigeria in freestyle swimming. Just one person out of a nation of over 200 million. And out of that 200 million, if we now decide to look at the numbers from talking about the south, from Lagos all the way to Cross River, Akwa Ibom, and what have you, are we saying all those people in the riverine area are they rubbish? Okay, this is what I said. I was actually talking about it at the beginning of the show. We don't prepare. We don't play to our strongest points. The Kenyans, the Ethiopians, they know they are very good at long distance. Okay, they play to their strengths. They don't care where you are from. Okay, as long as you can endure when it comes to long distance. They train you, they take you to the altitudes, they train you, and they unleash you at the Olympics, at the World Championship, at the African Championship, at different marathon events. And they go, they win, and they make their country and Africa proud. Nigeria's got rivers. All right, all you need to do, we already have the raw material. All we need to do is just to mold them. Okay, provide for them the enabling environment, nice swimming pool, nice coaches, good coaches, not nice coaches, good coaches. If you need to send them abroad, why don't you do that? Where are the corporate organizations that you know, for example, all the big corporate organizations, let them decide, okay, listen, we're going to pick one sport. We're going to pick swimming. And I tell you, swimming is not that expensive. Yeah, because I've interviewed quite a lot of swimmers and people, proprietaries of swimming clubs in Lagos, and they say it's not that expensive. All we need to do is just have the right attitude, the right training, because these people can already swim. They can't swim. You know, if you go to Niger Delta, you can always fish them out from the river, from the riverside. Train them, take them abroad. All right, let them compete with other people, and I can tell you, I can bet you. You know, we will be competing with the like of the Michael Phelps and whatever. All right, and it's so disheartening that we're going to the Olympics with this 17-year-old. And don't get me wrong, she's a very, very brave girl. She's going to learn from it, but she goes to the Olympics and comes back. What happens after that? All right, I will just toss her. All right, bye bye, go. Then when we have another, when we now remember, oh, it's 2024 is coming, 2 months to this. Abiola, come, go to camp and jump inside that water and swim. That's not the way to go. It's not the way to go. I mean, we need to be serious. We need to be serious. We need to invest in these people. If we want medals, we need to invest in them. Here in England, the Olympians that are going, they've got corporate sponsorship. The government don't hardly actually give them anything. Yeah, they've got the lottery money, lottery funding that gets given to the athletes going to Olympics, going to Commonwealth Games, going to whatever. They get supported, and that's why you see them winning medals. They prepare on time. You know, they don't go 2-3 months to Olympics or to any competition. All right, we have a close campaign, everybody come, then some big men will come and say, yeah, we're coming from the government, we want to do this one. No, it don't work like that. And then when these girls go, or when these guys go, and they don't bring any medal, then everybody will be on the street, oh, you people are useless. No, they're not. They've gone there to do what you and I can't do. Okay? We need to support them. It's not enough for me now to sit down here and talk. No, we need to encourage these people. How do we encourage them? Get corporate sponsorship. All right. This bank sponsors swimming for next Olympics. Please, at least want to win a bronze medal. One person. How much is it to that bank? And look at what mileage you're going to get from it, from sponsoring that just one person to win a bronze medal. I was watching Chioma Ajunwa today on one of the Nigerian television station. And she was really bitter when she was pouring her heart out. I felt like crying when I was listening. 25 years since she last won that medal. No one, nobody. The only Lagos State government just recently, Governor Sanwo-Olu just recently gave her a kiss to her flat. 25 years. So, and how do we want to win? You know, so we need a lot of work to do, you know, and I'm afraid maybe 2024 we probably will sit here again and we'll be saying, oh, do you think this person will win? Do you think that person will win? No, they won't. If you don't support them, if you don't train them well, they would not. And please, when they come back, nobody should go and curse them. Don't do that. All right? Don't go and say they are useless. They are not useless. They are Olympians. All right? They've gone there just by their own grace, by their own talent, without support. I'll be so interested to know how many training, how many competitions these guys actually been sponsored by their different federations. Okay, how many coaching courses their coaches have been backed on? How many times have they been out of the country to test their might, to test the waters abroad? You know, sometimes when you come out from countries like Africa and you are playing against, you're competing against white men, white people, that you tend to have that inferiority complex, and it's reality in everything, not just sports. All right, because when you see a white man, then the thing that comes to your mind is, oh, but you know, the more you compete with them, you show them, all right, the more they're scared of you. But how do you do that? You need to be encouraged. We need to be encouraged. I'm sorry I've taken the time, Wale, but it's something that I'm very passionate about. We need to do something about helping to make sports grow in Africa, in Nigeria.
It's just so sad that yes, it's just so sad that we are this part of the world. We don't get to invest in sports with the way we get to see other clients and getting to support their own when it comes to sport. I was in a do for the 2020 National Sport Festival, and there was a certain a lady that she actually won about 7 gold medals in the swimming event. When I actually interviewed her, she was like, no support is actually coming from the federation. Hardly will you find any swimming, event competition in Nigeria, except maybe when it is time for the National Sport Festival or the National Youth Games. That is when you will see a swimming competition, coming up. But apart from that, the federation are not really doing well when it comes to organizing events. I spoke to a coach talking about Coach Ezekiel Mosul. He told me that funding has been the major problem actually affecting the federation from hosting a competition. But going forward, Wale just mentioned about getting private investors for them to invest in sport. Do you think that the government of the day need to actually reduce taxes for we to actually get investors coming in to sponsor sport?
I don't really think it's a question of reducing taxes. You see, even in Nigeria, a lot of even the private sponsors, the big brands, everybody focuses so much attention on football, and other sports are left to die. Things like swimming, just like Wale captured aptly. We have a lot of people from the riverine areas who actually swim for a living. These people fish for a living. These people start swimming from when they are really young, and I wonder why at this point at the Olympics we really can't have proper representation at the Olympics. So yes, the problem of funding is there, but when you're putting your money for the big brands to put money into sports, you expect to get some returns. But how many Nigerians are actually passionate about swimming? If you put up, for instance, a swimming championship, how many Nigerians will actually go out there to take the time to watch the swimmers? So I think that is one of the problems. But I think on the part of the federation too, they need to make this sport attractive for the big brands and sponsors to come in, because we put so much time and effort on football and maybe to some point athletics and basketball. So, but I think it's high time that we really look at other sports, so that going forward, maybe in 2024 in France in the Olympics, we could have more people, representing us in different other sports other than just the traditional sports like football, table tennis, maybe wrestling, of which even the football we didn't even make it this time around. So I think it's going down. So we really need to invest more in other sports to, really compete with the big nations.
Of course, we need to compete with big nation in other sports. No doubt about it. Also, one sport that we'll be competing in is the badminton event, where Team Nigeria will compete in the women's single and also in the men's doubles for the first time. We'll be competing in the men's doubles event for the first time in the Olympics. Adeshokon Dokas will be the one, representing Nigeria in the women's singles event, while the duo of Godwin and Oluwapo will actually be representing Nigeria in the men's double event. Looking at badminton, Vivian, do you see any hope? Are we getting to get to the medal table?
Again, when it comes to these games, Nigeria will be playing against the big countries, the Western countries that have been doing this for many years and have, like you guys said, a lot of investments and sponsorship and lots of training. So I don't really know. I'm looking forward to see what they will be able to do. But again, little hope. But again, it links to representation, and being the first Africans to just be able to participate in these games is really important too.
Of course, Wally, looking at the likes of the Dokas, looking at the like for Alu Akpo, they are their best form. We saw their exploit during the National Sports Festival, during the African and the World Championship. They were able to qualify for the Olympics. With confidence, they can actually upset the likes of the Japanese team, who are actually rated as the best team when it comes to badminton event.
Well, we can only hope that they go out there to do their best. Again, when it comes back to the preparations, what kind of preparations did they have before going to the Olympics? Where did they go? Are we just talking about them just winning the National Sports Festival, playing against players in Nigeria? All right, what international competitions have they gone to compete in? I mean, when you look at the top teams in the world, you're talking about the Chinese, the Japanese, the Indonesians, Indians, probably Denmark. You know, again, it comes to that issue of our priorities. Afan was saying something very valid that time about how many people will go and watch swimming. I remember back in the days, swimming was in the Roe Park National Stadium. Swimming was people enjoy swimming. Otherwise, if you don't enjoy swimming, why do people go to swimming clubs? Why do you go to the beach? Okay, badminton is another very not too expensive sport to develop. What do you need? Racket and just a feather, and then 2 poles, all right, with a net, and you can play it anywhere. You know, as long as you got a very nice surface, you can play that. Okay, so it goes on to. I think one of the things we do need is probably just go back to having a very a sports revolution. I'll call it that way. We need to rethink our attitude towards sports. When I talk about rethinking, when I'm talking about the federations, the actors, the main actors in sports, the government, the federations, and obviously sponsors. You know, we need to sit down and rethink and think. All right, if we think badminton is a rubbish sport, why send people to the Olympics? Why even compete in qualifying for the Olympics? If we think swimming, no one is going to like swimming, why go there? Why don't we just invest in football? And then if we go, we go. If we don't go, we don't go. But the thing is, we've got talents. We need to understand that we've got talents all over Nigeria. If we don't have the talents, they would not be picking up the rackets or jumping into a swimming pool or going on a wrestling mat. We've got talents, and we need to harness those talents. We've got raw materials. We need to polish them. Otherwise, we are creating bandits. We are creating terrorists. We are creating kidnappers. We need to re-engage our youth. We need to a total social re-engineering of the Nigerian psyche. We need to do that. Okay, sport is a very veritable area to re-engineer Nigeria and push our youths towards countless of them. I mean, it will provide countless job opportunities for them. All right, you will have people that be supplying them water, food, equipment, you know, managing them, coaching them, being administrators to them. Loads of job opportunities we're going to be there if we rethink what we're doing in sports. It's not just all about okay, everyone wants to blow. You can blow via sports. Look at, we're talking about Giannis now, who won the NBA. Do you know how much he earns a year? Yeah, do you know how much he earns? We're talking about Osimhen, the like of Osimhen, and all these boys that play abroad now. Do you know how much they earn? Imagine if they've not got that opportunity to go out and play. What will have happened to them? Osimhen came from the streets of Lagos. Imagine if he had not had that talent. He'd probably be, and I stand to be corrected, an area boy in Lagos.
Yes.
But look at where he is today. And there are tons and tons and tons of youths out there in Nigeria today that we can engage through sports, because no matter what you are born with a talent. Okay, you might not excel at it, but if you're nurtured, all right, and you're polished, you may excel in it. Even if you don't excel at the world level, you excel at the national level, you excel at the African level, at the Commonwealth level. But at least you've made something for yourself, and you've created a path for yourself. Look at Chinua Achebe, for God's sake. Look at her. Today she's an assistant commissioner of police. And look at the others. Falila Togukoya, Fatima Yusuf, in America, doing well for herself. If she has stayed back and they did not nurture that talent, she probably would have been another frustrated young woman in Nigeria, or woman again, or old lady now. You know, so that's what we're talking. We need to sit back, look at our sports policy, yeah, and think about what we need to do to. Nigeria's population is exploding, and most of them are young people. Not all of them are going to go into politics. Not all of them are going to be working for Dangote or MTN or anybody. No, a lot of them will be out there watching and waiting for these big men and women. It happened during NSAS. Okay, it will happen again, if we do not do what is right. And sports is an avenue to use that, to use the power, the aggression, the anger. You can channel it towards sports. So, coming back to badminton, and I have to be honest with you. If they do it, they do it, but I don't think so.
If they do it, they do it. He didn't actually think so. Alpha, you also throw in the line that no matter how poor in badminton.
Well, sure, but when we keep talking about medals, these things don't happen by chance or by luck. You really have to prepare, put all the necessary things in place for you to really go out there and be hopeful of getting a medal in a sporting event as huge, as massive as the Olympics. So for badminton, I mean, like I've said repeatedly on this show today, participating in the Olympics alone is a huge achievement. So getting on the podium for me is just a plus. So, but for badminton, medal in badminton, a capital no. I mean, but participation is good enough. I mean, this will be like our first time participating in the badminton event. So I kudos
first time in 12 years.
First time in 12 years, sorry to say, so but kudos to the guys who qualified for this event, and I hope that they just go out there, do their best, and we'll take it up from there.
Of course, we will actually take it up from there. Viewers, you can actually head straight to our Facebook page for you to tell us which particular sporting event you're expecting Team Nigerian to win medals, and what is your charge for the team as they begin their Olympic campaign at this point in time. Still in the package, we have news coming from rowing and canoeing, and also we are going to be dissecting Team Nigeria Athletics to the ongoing Olympics games. But for now, we'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll actually read your comment, and we're expected to have a good time with us. Don't go nowhere. Okay. Yes, we are still talking about then we head straight to rowing event where our own athlete, talking about Esther Tuko, just competed in an event. At this point in time, we have the video. We are going to play the video right about now.
I've been with you for like 8 years, 9 years. I don't remember a single one.
Say again. I'm coming. Babe, you know the target now. The girl where they beside you. May we talk for our language. Eh? Now she you go target die. So that you understand. No turn your head though. You understand? Jesu. Mora girl. Mora. You feel do am, they don't carry machine for hand though. Abi they carry machine for hand. Eh? You know say now from small you don't start am now. Eh? Come show them the skill. Eh? Make all the Arobo people know wetin dey. God bless you, girl.
Okay, right there. That is Esther Tuchel, who just competed in a event right there at Tokyo. The coach actually, I was overhearing her. I actually overheard what she actually said. She was actually saying that that's blood of Jesus, and she was like, "You can go and do it." Those other girls are not using iron fist. At this point in time, this is what you know how to do best. Why don't you go out there and showcase your talent to the world?
I think basically she's just trying to motivate her, encourage her to go out there and do it. I mean, trying to let her know that this is not magic. You know, if the other people who are doing it are also human beings, because I heard her oversay something like the people now machine that they use. So. He's just trying to motivate her and let her know that, I mean, if other people can do it, you too can also do it. So I believe whatever it takes, she'll just go out there and give us a beautiful representation, most importantly.
Vivian, at this point in time, do you need to actually cover all our athletes with the blood of Jesus, or they should go ahead and put in the hard work for them to win medals?
I think we are all definitely praying for our athletes to do well. However, again, hopefully we'll just win more medals and just do our best. And when it comes to Esther, I just hope that, she finished 5th in her recent game. So hopefully when she plays again on Saturday, she'll be able to recharge and just do her best.
Okay, before I come to you, Wale, we have a video after event, and she was actually interviewed after event. I think we should have that video now.
You just came back from your race. Esther, how was it? How was the race?
The race is good.
Okay, how did it go? Did you get to the next round?
Yes. Tomorrow is the next round for Repechard.
For Repechard, okay. So how did you feel on the water?
The water is good and the weather is too hot, but it's good.
Okay, so it was comfortable, eh? Yes. How was the experience?
I got so many experience now. Tomorrow race, I know that I will do my best tomorrow.
Congratulations. Bye.
Yeah, that was Esther. Right there, Wale, you can see the excitement on the face of Esther right about there. That the first outing was actually good. She's actually looking for the next outing, and that will be tomorrow. What do you make up of team rowing in the Tokyo Olympic Games?
I think I wish I was the one interviewing Esther. The first question I will have asked her will have been, did Jesu win that for you? People should not get me wrong. Honestly, people should not get me wrong. My name is Gabriel. You know, I'm a Christian. I totally believe in but how many times? And correct me if I'm wrong. How many times would you see a Chinese, a British, a Saudi Arabian, okay, or England? They colonized us, all right, and they brought Christianity to Nigeria. How many times do you see them when they go to play, to do anything, and you see a coach shout, Gabriel, Jesu, let it follow you, or blood of Jesus, let it follow you. Listen, there are times to pray. There are times to prepare. If you do not prepare, you fail. That's the cocoa. That's the result of the exams. Okay. And what the girl said, Esther said, that was when they asked her about tomorrow, he said, the experience again, just from one day, probably a few hours of rowing in those equipment outside the shores of Nigeria against another Olympian, she gained enough experience to compete for another day. Imagine if this girl had been taken outside to train for a whole 6 months. Tell me what experience she will have gathered to survive in an Olympics like this. Absolutely. So that's what we're talking about. It's not a matter of show them you are a Urobo girl, show them you are this, show them that. Nah. It's hard work. Apart from the hard work, the support. I'm not talking about that kind of support, that kind of show them no be machine get for one. Wale and Afa, you are there in the studio. If you do not have a microphone, okay, with all the talent you've got as a seasoned sports journalist, you don't have a microphone to talk in the studio, and I'm here, I have a microphone, I'm talking, and you can hear me loud and clear. Would I hear you if you don't have a microphone? No, I would not. Why did the leadership people not say, Ejejesu, let it bring microphone, and so that you can talk and I will hear you? That's what we're talking about. It's the same applies to what we are talking about. No one is saying do not pray. I'm not saying don't pray. I'm not saying don't believe in God. I believe in God. All right. Before I do anything, I would pray. You understand? But I need to also put in the hard work. Okay. Faith or hard work without prayers. If okay, you wake up in the morning and you say, I'm sitting at home, I'm praying that money will fall from heaven. Will money fall? You won't go out. No. You will starve at home now. So the same applies. The same principle applies to what we're talking about. Okay. I've had enough of this. If you want to talk tactics with the girl, talk tactics with the girl. All right. Talk tactics. Watch how your opponent is rowing. Use her to do whatever you want to do. All the palace, rowing palace. Talk about it. Don't come and start saying something that will turn to meme. Everybody in social media will now be using. Even people in Australia will now start be using. This is our Nigeria. Come on, man. Come on. We've passed that now. Pray, fine. Say your prayers, but remember what you were taught, and use that techniques, use that tactics to defeat your opponent. God will not because of you called him and not destroy another person because of you. That won't happen. That's all. God is not like that, you know. Because let that person sink because you prayed. That person should sink so that you win. That won't happen, because God is not a bad God. So it comes to what we've been saying: preparations. We need to prepare hard if we want to win. We prepare hard. So I wish us all the best tomorrow.
Of course. We wish her all the best. Right about now, we just want to read a few comments coming from our Facebook page. Where we have Elias George said, kudos to leadership and newspaper in that particular one. Adebayo Amodo is saying kudos to Leadership Media Group. Christina actually said kudos to you guys, bravo. Ben Azuka is saying Nigeria government really need to wake up to support Team Nigeria, to support sport generally in the country. White Fidelis Akewome is saying, I hope we'll get medals in wrestling. We are really good at that. We did not need government to support to win that one. Jones is saying, nice one, guys. Bio again is saying we need more sponsorship for private sector in Nigerian sport development. Away from that, you can still keep sending your comments and be rest assured that you are going to read them as they come. We head straight to Taekwondo, where we'll have just one athlete that will be representing Nigeria, talking about Elizabeth. She'll be representing Nigeria in the women's 67 kg event. I followed Elizabeth right from when she was, trying to qualify to the Olympics, right from the African Championship to the World Championship. We know that a GoFundMe account was actually, created for Elizabeth, for her to get the needed funds for her preparation to the Olympic Games. As it is right about now, we saw her exploit at the All-African Games. She got a medal there, and we are hopeful that she can actually win a medal. She is being coached by a certain Olympic bronze medalist, and we are hopeful that she can actually get a medal in the Olympics. Alpha.
Yes, Elizabeth has really done very well for herself. I mean, if you followed her career from the beginning, this young lady actually started as an athlete, as a runner, before it was because of her height and everything that Chukwumerije, some days discovered her at the National Stadium here in Abuja and started training her, for, Taekwondo. And so far in the past few years, since he took her under her wing, she has really done well. And I'm really happy that she qualified for the Olympics. And I really hope that she, will, repeat the feat that Chukwumerije himself, actually achieved some years back in the Olympic by coming, bronze, in the Taekwondo event. And, learning under the wings of someone like that, I know she's learned a lot. Even the build up to the Olympics, I watched a lot of her preparations. The preparations were all spot on. I mean, she was even one among the first to arrive in Tokyo, camping, and her preparations has been good, so far so good. And I really expect that she will go far. And even if she doesn't win a bronze medal, I mean, this is her first Olympics. And I hope that whatever happens will be a learning experience. And going further, she will be able to mature, build more confidence, develop more skills, and eventually step up to the podium. But nice one for her.
Nice one for Elizabeth. Vivian, we know when it comes to combat sport, we know that the likes of the Asians are one of the best when it comes to that particular sport. Taekwondo, is there any hope for Elizabeth getting to upset the Asian teams?
Again, is going to be very difficult. Again, she's the first Nigerian athlete to qualify after Princess Judy 16 years ago. So it's going to be really difficult for her. But hopefully, maybe in the next few years, she'll be able to bring home a bronze. However, with Asian athletes, it's going to be very difficult because they are the leaders in this game.
Chukwumerije is well experienced. He has won the bronze medal for Team Nigeria in the Olympics. Wale, do you think he will actually bring his wealth of experience to bear to enable Elizabeth, get to win medals at the Olympics?
No doubt, Wale. Chika is someone I know pretty well. I actually spoke with him a few minutes before we started the show today because he was still awake. And I was just joking with him. But boss, waiting you see they do. Said we're just thinking about how to get our girl you know, to get it right, you know, because I think she's going to fight another girl from Turkey. That's her first match, I suppose. So Chika is someone who is been there. He knows. I think he knows his onions. He's someone who knows the show, knows the game. He knows our girl very well. Having discovered the girl, just like I've said, in Lube in Abuja there, and he's been training this girl for a long time now. So I think, you know, just like Chika said when I was asking, is she prepared? Can she do it? And he was emphatic and said, "We'll give it a go. But I believe in her, you know." And I totally trust that. I trust the process. Again, we go back to preparations. So, but the fact that Chika has always been with this girl for a long time, you know, so you'll be able to have known her weaknesses, know how to correct it, know how to, and because Chika's been there before, like you said, when was to the podium for Nigeria before, he knows how to get to that podium. And when you get people like Chika, like Daniel Igali, you know, running sports in Nigeria, it helps because they've got experience. You know, people like Faila Tugonkoya, Fatima Yusuf, Patty Tangi, all of them, they're just in America. They're just, all the experience they gathered, they're impacting it on people that are going to be our opponents in future Olympics. They're impacting it on Americans, you know. So why can't we bring them back home and give them something to do, to share that wealth of experience? Thank God we've got Chika. Chika was not stolen by any other person. It's come back to say, okay, let me, what I've done for Nigeria, winning a bronze medal for my country, I can help other people. What about the other hundreds of them? Hundreds of them in America, in Portugal. Bukolu now, who remembers him? He's in Portugal helping Cristiano Ronaldo to get fitter. And yet we have our own footballers. So that's all we're talking about. We got them scattered all over the four corners of the world. They are ready to sacrifice to come back and help and build our sports back up. Are we encouraging them?
I think we need to actually do more. We encourage them. That's a big question. And I think the government needs to actually respond to that particular question. But we'll move away from Taekwondo. We head straight to, for me, is the biggest contingent that we have in the Olympics. That's talking about the athletics event, because we know about 19 athletes will be representing Nigeria when it comes to the track and field event. Sadly, we should have enough more numbers in that particular event, but due to the leadership crisis, you know, rocking the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, for me, that will be the major reason why Nigeria will not be having more athletes at the Olympic Games. But looking at the athletic teams, we have the likes of Divine Oduru. We have the likes of Divine, who will be competing in the men's 100 meters and 200 meters events. The likes of Enoch Adekoke will be competing in the 100 meters event. Ishakiri also 100 meters. We have the likes of Blexin Kagbari in the 100 meters. Toby Amoso in the 100 meters hustle. We have Ese Brume in the long jump. Looking at the list of Nigerians that will be, you know, competing and in the track, are we confident to actually pick not less than 2 gold medals in athletics?
Tough question to answer. But before I even go to dissect this, you know, like you talked about the crisis in the AFN. You see, there's always this saying that when 2 elephants fight, the grass always suffer. You know, the crisis in the AFN, which has not been the athletes doing, but is affecting them. Because like you said, our contingent in the athletics should have been bigger than this. But because of the crisis in the AFN, I mean, we couldn't take more athletes, and having 2 factions in the AFN, of course, hasn't really done well for the sport in Nigeria. Then moving forward, we have 19 athletes who will be representing Nigeria in the track and field event. Of course, we have, you know, powerhouses like Blessing Okagbare, Esther Bruma is there. So I really hope that Blessing has always been really up there. During the past couple of years before she came back for the Nigerian trials, her career was somewhat like on a downhill slope. But I'm glad that she bounced back, especially at the Nigerian trials, where she, actually broke a record. So I really hope that now that they're in the Olympics, she will really put up her best game and really do something for Esebrume. I mean, young lady coming up, like Chioma Ajuma once said in an interview, she really hopes that this will be the lady who will actually wear her crown, because 25 years after she won that gold medal in the long jump, no Nigerian has come close to winning the medal in the long jump. So we really have high hopes for Esebrume, and we really hope that she, will do something spectacular for Nigeria this time around.
Vivian, looking at Esebrume, she actually won bronze medal at the Doha Games, talking about the World Championship in 2019, and we are getting to see her. It's just so unfortunate for Tobi Amusan to actually finish the 4th position in the 100 meters hurdles event. But do you see these athletes, getting to move away from their last performance in the world biggest stage and getting to show the rest of the world that they can actually, win a medal in the Olympics?
Well, I have really high hopes for Esebrume, also because she was the only African athlete to actually qualify for the finals in the last Olympics. So hopefully she'll be able to this time bring home a medal, even if it's bronze. But again, we're up against Kenyans, Jamaicans, and the Americans who are really strong when it comes to athletics. So we'll have to see how this game will go.
Well, we know when it comes to athletics, we know we are number one in Africa, no doubt about it. We are number one when it comes to athletics in Nigeria. But looking at the likes of Divine Blessing, Okagbari, Esebrume, Tobi Amusan, are you confident that we should pick a medal? Because we know that the last time we won a medal was in 1996 when Chioma actually did that for us. But looking at this team, are you confident in the kind of quality of athlete that will be parading at the Olympics?
This is one of the sports I'm actually confident that we will get at least 1 or 2 medals. And obviously you mentioned all the names. There's another name that actually a lot of people are not really talking about, and that's Ruth Usoro. She's a triple jumper and also a long jumper. She's an All-American. She's broken our school record, I think, twice in last year. This is someone I also spoke to some time ago. She's, I think, number 9 in the world in triple jump. So she's this girl is someone to look out for, especially in triple jump. Esebrume is definitely learned a lot from our last Olympics, and again, someone else also speak to. She's learned quite a lot, and obviously under the tutelage of Coach Kayode Yaya, who is a very brilliant coach who knows this girl. That the thing about all these coaches is, again, when they have they know their word, they know their weaknesses and they work on it to improve them. So it helps them to also improve. So Blessing, again, like you said, was had an up and down season for the past 2-3 years, but towards the Olympics she's beginning to peak, which is really good for Nigeria. And I also don't forget the fact that most of these girls I've mentioned, obviously with Divine, the guy, they also compete in America. But for the for the COVID, they probably will have gone to a lot of diamond leagues and obviously events in American college events or whatever, and they will have been in tip-top form, But they've been competing and they know their onions, They're also experienced. They've been in competitions. They live abroad, and they know some of these athletes they're going to be competing against. So most of them they probably be are in the same club with, or they probably share the same management, So they know them. So I think that will actually play on our side. If there's any other sport, I think aside from basketball, wrestling, taekwondo, I think we probably would do well in athletics this time around. I wouldn't be surprised if we at least probably get up to about 3 to 4 medals in athletics. I would not be surprised. If we don't, I'll be so surprised, so disappointed. We didn't. Obviously, it's going to be because of the infighting at the AFN, which is unfortunate. So unfortunate for Nigeria at this minute. It's so unfortunate that at this time, this crucial time, we now have divisions in the AFN, and they're not getting their house in order. So, well, let's leave the politics of sports to the politicians and let them deal with it. But as far as the competitors are concerned, I think they will give it their best shot. They will.
Of course, they will give their best shot. But looking at the relay team, it was just so sad that we didn't go for the world relay that was actually held in Poland due to the leadership crisis rocking the AFM. But at this point in time, Nigeria will be competing in the 4 by 400 meters relay. Looking at also women's 4 by 100 meters relays, and we'll be competing at just 2 relay events. Are we confident we can actually upset the likes of the USA? Who I know that the powerhouses when it comes to USA, the Jamaicans are the powerhouses when it comes to the relay event. But can we upset these guys?
There'll be no upsets, I must confess, like you just mentioned, we missed out on the World Championships in Poland, This would have been a nice tune-up event for the relay team, but, going into this kind of competitions, you really need to go for, tune-up, competitions like this to put your athletes in the best of shape going into these kind of competitions. But, like, once again, you mentioned the AFN crisis, which I wouldn't want to dabble into that anymore. But I like I've said, concerning the other teams representing us, based on how they prepared, there is no magic in these things, So I just think they should just go out there, do their best, and give us the best representation that they can, in every way possible, because they upsetting the Americans or the Jamaicans or even the British or Canadians, for instance, I really don't see that happening, because these guys have prepared. They've been ready for this tournament, for this competition, rather to say. So for someone who is not really ready and is just hoping on luck or happenstance, for them to snap a medal, I really don't see any upset. But I would really wish them well and hope that they just put up their best performances at the Olympics.
What about you, Vivian?
Yeah, we've been mentioning investments and sponsorships, and looking at the American team, we know that they have way more support behind money-wise. So I don't know. We'll look to see how it's going to turn out for our Nigerian athletes. But again, maybe a bronze. But we look forward to see what's going to happen.
Okay. Due to the leadership crisis, rocking the AFM, we know that the Guso-led board actually, secured a deal with Puma, and they are expected to wear the kits. Talking about Team Nigerian athlete. Well, at this point in time, the sports minister, talking about Sunday Dare, still insisting that the ministry and they are now aware about the Puma kit, but they will actually, the athlete done a kit that was manufactured by a local company here in Nigeria. Wale, do you think Nigerian athletes getting to wear the kits that was produced back here home, and likes of other countries talking about maybe like the US getting to wear Adidas, Nike, and the rest, will you think there will be inferiority complex in the side of the athletes when they get to run the track?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think there's nothing wrong with the Nigerian athletes or the Nigerian contingent deciding to wear made in Nigerian clothing. It's something good for us to showcase to the world. We don't necessarily have to. I know the Pumas, the Adidas, the Nikes. They've got the money. it would be good for them. Their money will have been good for our contingent if that money was actually going into developing sports and training these people, okay, and not in someone's bank account. All right. But in the case where, and with regards to the Puma deal, AFN and Puma deal, we don't know what happened there. Okay. But then again, it boils down to communication. I mean, AFN is a branch of the sports ministry, if I'm right. What stops the sports ministry from getting this deal with Alpha Sports years down the line and communicate to everybody, all the federations? We have a unique uniform or wears for Nigerian contingent to the Olympics. What stops them from telling all these people? It's just an email away. Yeah. An email away to letting everybody know. You have their contacts. All secretary generals of associations in Nigeria are ministry workers. They are ministry staff. What stops you from emailing every one of them to say, this is what is going on? Don't let athletes now decide to wear Puma. Wrestlers will wear Adidas. Swimming will wear Nike. This one will wear Hummel. Where is that done? Do you see all the other teams? They wear the same uniform. Exactly. If Adidas is going to kit you, Adidas is going to kit from A to swimming, from athletics to swimming. If it is Puma, same. If it is Alpha Sports, same. When people think more about their pockets than they think about the country or development of the youth, or actually putting the country first, things will work. If they think about their pockets first before thinking about Nigeria winning medals, we always go there and have jamborees. Just go there, have fun, come back home, come back with the little dollars you've got, and then go and blow to anybody. So until we have this discussion, until the sports ministry get their hearts together, until all the associations get their hearts together and read from the same hymn book, I'm sorry, we always go to competitions and come back empty-handed. But what I always say to people, viewers watching, please, at no point should you abuse any of these athletes. They are going there to serve us. You don't know what they've gone through. Okay? You don't know what they are going through at the moment. All right?
Of course.
When I was chatting with Chika Chukwumerije, it was 3:40 a.m. in Japan, and he was still awake, thinking about tactics to beat for Elizabeth to win our first opening game against the Turkish girl. You don't know what they're going through. So please, if you want to support them with a Jejesu, start now. Okay? Start supporting them. All right, but don't let them come back and you want to say, these people are useless. They are not useless. They have gone there to do us proud. Okay? So instead of telling them they are useless, tell the people, officials, let them know how useless they are for messing us about.
Of course, Alpha, at this point in time, I just want to get your final thoughts on the overall view of what we have talked about today and what we should expect from Team Nigeria.
Yeah, I mean, finally, after much postponement due to COVID, at a point, it even looked like the Olympics, might not even be held anymore. But, thankfully, it finally got on the way today officially. So I'm happy that, the Olympics, in spite of the setbacks, over the past few years, has finally come to, to start today. And I hope that in spite of, the absence of spectators, spectators actually make the game more sport, more interesting. But I just hope that even without spectators, that wouldn't be, an excuse for athletes not to, put in their best. And I hope that we will still witness some good displays here in the Olympics, and athletes who are representing, should know that, I mean, spectators might not be in the stadium, but there are billions of people watching at home and watching them on TV. So they should just do their best and, give us one of the best and memorable Olympics in recent times.
Vivian, your final thoughts.
Overall, I'm hoping that the Nigerian team will be able to deliver some medals at home. But again, these are first-time athletes. Many of them have participated to the Olympics for the very first time. So we're just hoping for them to do their best, and no pressure. This is just, again, representation as well. So I'm really hoping that they'll be able to deliver and just do their best.
They were able to deliver and do their best. Head straight to Gabriel. Your final thoughts before we'll call it a day.
Let's just sit back and enjoy the Olympics. It's been a very terrible 2 years. People have lost their lives to COVID and what have you. The Olympics has come. Let's just sit back, enjoy whatever comes out of it. It comes out of it. I mean, there's nothing we can do. If we win medals, we'll win medals. If we don't, let's come back home, and again, give it a go for 2024. But I am very optimistic that we will do the boys and girls. We do the fatherland proud, and I'm looking forward to it.
Of course, I'm also looking forward to Team Nigeria to actually do the nation proud. They should actually go there and compete clean and giving their best for them to be able to win medals for Team Nigeria. I must say it has been a great time, talking sports with three a good sport journalist right from Alpha. It was nice having you on the show today.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. This is just day one, and we still have plenty of days to go. And we actually, hopefully, will give our viewers and our listeners, a memorable experience.
Of course, Vivian, it was great to have you talk sport.
It was great to be here and to be able to do this.
Well, later, in-depth analysis on Team Nigeria.
Thank you for everyone for watching, and thank you, Leadership Newspapers and Media Group. This is wonderful, and long may it continue. And please, if you're watching, keep watching and supporting us here too, and I'm sure we'll not disappoint you.
Of course, we are not going to disappoint you. Of course, you can visit our podcast.leadership.ng for more of sport episode that will be coming to you. And also, you can listen on Anchor, Spotify, Audio Mac, on any other major podcast listening platform. This is the Tokyo 2020 in 120, and we are here to actually giving you all the latest stories and events coming from Tokyo, the city that is actually hosting the 2020 Olympic Games. My name is Olawale Ayeni, and it has been great talking sport right here. Team, we'll meet you tomorrow, where we'll bring you all the latest sports. Bye-bye for now, and God bless.